Cam Skattebo making his first appearance in studio. Brought to you guys by Branded Bills. Elevate your brand with Branded Bills, the perfect headwear and apparel. Use code PHNX for 20% off your first order. Scat, Branded Bills. They said that this is the hat for you, man. We figured that maybe that's yours. That's yours. Scat, thank you so much, obviously, for taking the time, man. I know you guys are on a bye week. You have sent a lot of linebackers into the hospital over this season. I think opposing defensive coordinators probably have nightmares about you going into each and every week. For you, I'm just curious, what is your approach kind of going in to the Big 12, some of these games, obviously, versus last year in the Pac-12?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is last year, kind of West Coast vibe. A lot of people knew me already. I was at Sacramento State, and then I played here last year. I think going into Big 12, it kind of showed the world what I'm about, and I've just been pushing every day and trying to make my game more successful, and become who I would know I can become at the end of the day. I still have another step of the ladder to take, so I'm just pushing every day to make sure I can get there.
Okay, what does the next step look like? Because you do a little bit of everything. I mean, even last year, you did a lot of everything. Where do you see that next level for you being? Where can you still improve and grow?
I mean, obviously my long distance speed. There's been a couple of plays where I've been walked down from behind, but yeah, I don't know. There's everything can always, improve, and my game's never sharpened to the sharpest knife because there's always somebody better. You see Ginty over there in Boise State balling out. He's really good. So there's competition out there. There's a lot of good backs in the Big 12. So I've been trying to sharpen every piece of my game instead of just one thing. Because at the next level in the NFL, I got to put it all together to make sure I can stay on the roster and compete at the highest level.
You mentioned GT. We were just having the conversation beforehand about the Heisman and the conversation. Obviously, Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, and GT in that conversation for the Heisman. Do you feel like that your name belongs in that same realm with some of those guys based off of what you've done so far this season?
I wouldn't say off this season, but just the fact that I guess we'll see by the end of the year. There's still 5 games to play, so there's a lot more room for success and a lot more room for failure on their end and on my end. So I guess we shall see towards the end of the year. But I mean, I believe I'm the best running back in the country. That's just my beliefs, and he's having a really good year over at Boise State. So it's everything's politics. So I guess we'll see if I guess we'll see how it goes.
So I want to get inside your head a little bit. Obviously, you're not afraid of contact, right? And if anything, other people are afraid of that contact when they see you. In Cincinnati, there's an end zone, there's a player, and then there's you. What goes through your head when you see one obstacle in your way to 6 points?
I kind of didn't really see him in my way because I was already there. But those are the times where that guy comes full speed and hits you, and now you're hurt. Mm-hmm. He comes and hits you in the hip when you're not expecting it, or the knee and you're not expecting it, you get twisted up. I think I was more bracing for impact, and it just happened that way. I did hit him really hard. I definitely didn't let up and just kind of defend myself. I laid into it, but I mean, that's just kind of the game I play, physical. I mean, if you want to meet me at the goal line, then go ahead. We'll see who wins that one-on-one. I don't believe anybody will ever stop me. If you don't have full speed momentum, you might not have no chance. So, I mean, just the physicality, being at the goal line, and down 17 points, I had to set some momentum, and the guys have to see that, the physicality we have to bring to the football team to be able to keep pushing. And we're not the most athletic team in the country, so we have to be the most physical.
Yeah. You said what goes through his mind. I just pictured just scat smash. That's what goes through your head, dude. Look, obviously not afraid of contact, like he said. I'm curious, what are you scared of? Like anything? Is there anything that you're just like, nah, sharks?
I mean, I grew up with a 6'5" dad and a 6'1" brother. Outweighed me by 100 pounds my whole life, They always beat up on me and, bullied me around. So There's not much. I mean, I guess a gun would be scary.
Yeah,
but,
that's fair.
The only way to stop Cam Skattebo from scoring a touchdown
But,
is you gotta pull a gun out.
I don't think there's very many things on the football field that scare me at all. I've always been taught to, no matter how big you are, no matter how strong you are, like I'm still a man too. So we have to put our.
Well, that's up for debate.
Yeah,
That's
an animal.
Yeah.
An alien.
Yeah.
You very clearly have a good sense of who you are and your approach, not only as a player, as a person, and that feels like it meshes really well with your head coach and his coaching staff. What is it about the tandem of you and Kenny Dillingham that works?
We trust each other. Every day we go to practice and he challenges me to become better. And I challenge him to be better. You know, if I see him have an off day, I kind of give him a little crap about it. His energy's low. You know, I tell him your energy's low. And I think we have the close enough relationship now that we talk on a side level of understanding each other and understanding the team and how we feel and how he feels and how he sees it. So it's just become, me and him have become closer day in and day out, just him pushing me and me trying my best to push him and make him a better coach as well. But he does a great job. Everybody respects him. He loves the game of football and everybody sees it. So we're just going to keep pushing and keep following behind him and see what he has in store for us.
Have you ever played for a coach that you can relate to like that before, on the same way that you can with Kenny Dillingham?
Yeah, I think so. I want to say all my coaches. You know, my father was my coach growing up, and then I went to high school, and you know, Jack Garceau, my high school coach, he took the job for 3 years just to coach me and at the varsity level, and then stopped coaching after I was done. So, and then Troy Taylor over at Sac State, you know, he gave me a chance, and me and him had a pretty deep connection through the time I was there for those 3 years. You know, COVID, we came kind of close, you know, because there's no games to play, you know, so I had to earn that trust through practice and getting better, and you know, fine tune the details. So he was a big part of my success. And then we're talking head coaches, but I mean, my position coach at Sac State too, Malcolm Agnew, he was a big part of my success. He developed me like crazily during COVID, from taking my game from high school to college and teaching me how to understand the difference of speed and physicality at this level. So.
Absolutely. I do want to get to Will's question in the chat, because this is something that I've been asked by people. I know you've talked about it before, but they want to know what's up with you shaking your head between plays, almost between all of them.
Okay, I will say, the first thing I'll say is if I ever have anything wrong with my head, I will take myself out of the game. That is not an issue. I know my health is more important than anything. I've talked about it a couple times in the past. I thought it was, you know, my helmet used to stick to my face. You know, when my hair wasn't as long, I didn't have a bigger beard, my helmet used to stick to my face, my sweat would dry up, you know. And I think over this last year, it's became just such a constant thing. And now I feel like it's more of an OCD thing. The fact that my helmet has to fit perfect.
Yeah.
Like if I see my face mask off just a half inch, like I notice it.
It bugs you.
And like, I don't know, I just shake off the hit, make sure my helmet's fitting right. Like you see me too. I use my shoulder to kind of adjust my helmet. It's not a tick. It's not Tourette's. It's none of that. It's just, you know, I think it's something that shows that I'm focused and locked in.
Yeah.
I talk to my coaches about it all the time. The referees come up to me all the time and ask me, you know, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'll do it the whole game. I mean, I do it in practice every single day. Even if we're just in a helmets practice, you know, you'll see me smacking my helmet with my shoulder. And the guys are like, you good? And I'm like, yeah, I'm all right. Like, we're good. It's just a OCD thing, I think.
So you mentioned, I mean, the OCD thing and being kind of obsessive about the details. Is that something that you've always had, like in every aspect of life, or is that like a football thing where you're just like, I have to have everything right on the field?
Yeah, I mean, you have to have everything right to play. You know, the coaches trust you the most when you know what's going on in every aspect of the game. I'm really smart. I believe there's not very many running backs out there that are as smart as me. And when I play the game, I feel if I was 6'2", I'd play quarterback just because how much I understand the game. And I don't know. It's just, I can't remember. Like, I just love the game, and I just believe I'm the smartest. So it's like, it's hard. My anxious is like kicking on. I'm like ready to play already.
We're getting you fired up.
I don't talk about
go.
football much. I go home and I play video games and I relax and I don't think
play?
about it. Call of Duty, Apex. I play Rainbow a lot.
No NCAA?
2K. I I hate football games.
Do you really?
I hate them. I play them obviously if my buddy's like, hey, you want to play? I can't stand playing Madden.
Have you ever played Madden against Kenny? Because when we had Cole in here over the summer, he had a very specific way that Kenny had played Madden. And it was run it down your gullet until you get to the red line.
Yeah, no, I've never played him actually simply because I hate playing Madden, you know? So like when he's in the room, I'm never there. He's always there, you know, when guys are just kind of kicking it and hanging around on their free time. I go home and I like to relax, you know. My body's in pain every day, so I try my best to just relax as much as I can. So it's awesome to be able to do that.
What's your process like? I know it's kind of different for every player, but a player like you that does inflict so much contact through 4 quarters every single game, what is the next day like for you? Like Sundays, do you have like a routine or a ritual in terms of just getting your body back to where it needs to be?
I wouldn't say I have a routine, but it depends on what's bothering me. You know, sometimes I have major, not injury, but you know, hurt things that are hurting. In some games I walk away and, you know, it looks like I'm in pain, but it's just tightness and, you know, bruises here and there. But obviously the cold tub is a big help for my legs to rejuvenate and get those back. And then I work with our training staff to make sure I'm staying healthy every week. So I don't really have a routine, but you know, I've been doing it for 17 years now. So it's like I wake up and I see what the day takes with me. And, you know, the more you move around after a game, the better you feel the next day. So I just try to stay moving and stay out of bed.
Yeah. We got 2 good questions, both from Glenn's in the chat. We'll start with Glenn with 1N. What NFL player does Scat try to emulate or the most that he relates to as far as build and size? Do you have an answer for that?
I think he answered this on the first time we had him on, but we'll see if it's the same.
Yeah, I mean, I think now that I'm getting into more of my different type of game, I've been trying to make people miss more instead of just running them over. You guys might not see it as much, but you know, when there's guys in the way in the gaps and stuff, I'm trying my best to get out of the way. Like I'm working on that. And that's something that me and my coach, you know, Coach Iguana, have been going over, is making someone miss at a point in contact and attacking half a man. So I mean, Christian McCaffrey does it well. You watch him play; he's shoulder to shoulder everybody. He doesn't try to run anybody over, square up, and he doesn't try to, you know, outman anybody. He uses his skills and has athletic ability to try to get around people. So I mean, you see in the Cincinnati game, I seen that dude at the edge, and I knew I had to beat him one-on-one. Yeah. You know, it wasn't my first instinct right then and there when I was able to think about it. It wasn't just to run him over; it was to try to make him miss. Yeah. So.
Well, and you made 2 guys miss right before that too. You got right around the edge, and they just couldn't get you.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. The first guy that came off the edge, you know, I knew I had to make him miss. There was no way he's coming full speed off the edge. I couldn't just run him over and get in the end zone. So
the last guy, he just got the short end of the stick, I guess.
Yeah, he just got what was waiting for him, I guess.
What he walked into.
Oh my goodness. We have another question from a different Glenn in the chat. Just on why you chose to stay at Arizona State. Obviously, a player of your caliber with not a ton of eligibility left. You saw some really, really talented Sun Devils on last year's team opt to go to different schools. You opted to stay. Why was that?
I wouldn't say it's anything specific other than I believed what Kenny had going on. And the guys that started to come in during the spring, I seen how much they love football. And, you know, me and Coach Dillingham sat down and said, he told me he was going to get me an offensive line. And I was like, all right, let's do it. You know, we had a couple guys come back that were injured last year, you know, and we brought a couple guys in. So I trusted him, you know, and me and Lee Fautanu had a conversation too, you know. He was like, what are we doing? This is a hard decision to make, you know. And I was like, we're staying here, dude. Like, let's thug it out. Let's turn this thing around, you know, and let's make this team better. Like, we're not just going to let this team fall in a hole because Dillingham's got a great thing going. So me and him decided to stay together. And, you know, we pushed and people challenged each other over the summer and over spring ball and over fall camp. And, I mean, we're 5-2 through 7 weeks, so 8 weeks. So it's pretty cool to see, you know, what I thought was going to happen come to life. So
for sure.
ASU has had a very long, illustrious line of running backs and a lot of success at that position. And it seems like fans usually gravitate to that position here. And that's no different with you. Obviously, I know you're not looking at like our post-game shows and stuff, but everybody in the chat is just so hyped to watch you play and to watch you evolve your game. Like you mentioned, you worked on your body over the summer. You became shifty or you became faster. Like You could have just said, you know what, I'm good. I'm going to keep going. But the fans really appreciate and respect that. Do you understand that long after you're gone here now, people will remember you as one of the best running backs that this school has ever seen?
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. I was in high school, and that's the last time I've heard my name chanted in the stands, and it's kind of cool to see that and hear people say that and hear people talk about me all the time. And it gets to my head a little bit, feeling like the man, but I have to, stay humble and continue to keep fighting. And, we're 5-2 with 5 games left. Anything can happen, and then those fans can go away. So I just got to keep pushing and understand that, I got support behind me, and the fact that people are supporting me, and I love it. It's awesome. And hopefully we just get more and more and we keep it rolling.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, at the start of this season, the Big 12 preseason media poll had you guys picked dead last in this conference. It's something that Eric and I have talked about a ton on this show, that it felt disrespectful at the time, and I think there are a lot of people trying to retract that, seeing that you guys have started 5-2 to start the year. And I know Kenny has made a point about it, especially at the start of the season, where he was just like, nope, that's where we belong. That's the team we are, blah, 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 blah. Did you take that with a grain of salt? Like, that was something going into that Wyoming game that you're like, okay, everybody's picking us to be the worst team in this conference. There's no way that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, Xavier Alford does a great job. He's the vocal leader of the team. He talks every game, before the game, after the game, every day at practice. He's always talking. And he's made it a push on. We were picked last, and every meeting we start the meeting with number 16 on our board. They start that special teams meeting and the team meeting every day with the number 16 picked dead last in the conference. So, I mean, I think everybody understands that we're not number 16.
Yeah.
We're a top 4 team in our conference, and we understand that. We could be the best when the season ends. We've lost to 2 teams that we should have beat, and we beat ourselves, and we struggled, and we did things wrong and missed assignments. But I would say, I think we all took it with a grain of salt, and was like, all right, it's time to go, you know. And that's, like I said, we challenged each other over the summer, making sure that everybody was pushing and nobody left anything in the tank when that Friday workout was done. Yeah. So I think all that work is paying off for sure.
100%. I think for the ASU fan base, they see that too. And again, a bunch of people that come back and watch this show daily, they took it almost, I imagine, in a similar way. They're like, there's no way that this team is going to be 16. And a lot of that, I think, had to do with the fact that you stayed, Leaf stayed, Tyson stayed. And there is a belief, not just, I think, within the team, but I think now in the city of Tempe, that this program can be something that it hasn't been in a long time, maybe even ever. So it's been crazy to see.
Yeah, I mean, we have a backfield, and the Coach Iguano and Coach Dillingham and Coach Arroyo are going to keep bringing guys in that can run the ball, because that's what they do. Obviously Sam Levitt, he's the future. He's going to be great for us in the next three years. I'll definitely be back to watch him play. You know what I mean? I played with him a whole year. He texted me the other day, I wish I had you for 3 more. But that goes into saying, like, me and him think about the game the same way. And he's one of the smartest, and I think he just turned 20 years old. One of the smartest 20-year-olds that I've met in the game of football. He was a lot smarter than me when I was 20, and it just shows you what Coach is bringing in and what he has in store for ASU and the future.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all drop a like.
Earlier in the show, Scat, you were talking about you haven't heard your name chanted that way since you were in high school. I was looking up today some of the stuff that you did in high school, man. 3,500 yards your junior year and 42 touchdowns. Was it just like you would show up on Fridays just like absolutely chomping at the bit?
Yeah, I mean, I had my coaches in high school kind of the same. Last year I struggled practicing on Tuesdays, and I think my headspace was somewhere else, trying to make sure that I was still loving the game. But that year I had a couple coaches in my back pocket that were pushing me every day. Didn't allow me to sit out of practice if I had a little tweak. They worked on it, and they got me back in, and I did cryotherapy every day, every single day after practice and every game. And that was a big thing for me, that kept me healthy. But I mean, I touched the ball 300 and something times that year. So, at the level I was playing at, I knew I was a lot better than that. And obviously I proved it. So that was a hard part of me, running for 3,500 yards and 42 touchdowns and not getting no exposure. Kind of took my head out of the game a little bit, but it was definitely an awesome year. You know, I had fun doing it, and you know, we won a state title.
Yeah.
You know, I had some guys on that team that were really, really talented, but just went the wrong way in life. But there are also some that are very successful in life. So it's pretty cool to see that and look back on that.
Yeah, I think there's Arizona State fans that, and this is probably a minority, that think that just all of a sudden this was the type of running back that you became. But we have got some old huddle highlights from 2019 that I want to go ahead and play for everybody. And Scat, you were doing the same thing that you do at Arizona State to these poor high school kids. And like, it's absolutely ridiculous, some of the stuff that you were doing. Like, you're throwing them off of you, dude.
Yeah, I mean, this one actually was a pretty good team in our conference. We matched up with them well, and they were pretty good. So, I mean, I just knew every game I had to bring it, and my teammates loved me.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a 360-pound right tackle.
Jeez, in high school?
That just walked down defensive end. So he always gave me a yard or two to work with. So
some of this stuff is ridiculous. Eric, how many of you do you think it would take to tackle the high school version of Cam Skattebo?
I don't think there's a number.
You don't think so?
I think he can throw 100 to me, and he's getting through because he's evading me too. It's, you know, like we can go right at him. He's gonna find his way and cut through. Look at how he gets through traffic. You think I'm taking him down? Are you kidding me? Look at that. There's no chance.
There's just some of these runs, and I think you see it at ASU too, where it's just like you shouldn't be able to score on some of the plays that you actually score. And I think it was the Utah game where it was either the 47-yard or the 50-yarder.
50-yard,
where you had made a cut, like we're able to keep balance on one leg and then elevate all the way to the end zone. Like it's ridiculous. And I think a lot of people, when they first watch your game, a lot of it has to do with the impact that you obviously run with every single time. But I don't know if enough people talk about your ball carrier vision and then your balance. Is it something that you've worked on? Is it something that you've seen grow over time? Or is that just like, I played running back and boom, I've got that?
Yeah, you know, I never understood how I do it, to be honest. Every day, you know, something happens, and me and Coach Dillingham even talked about it. I think I fell twice all fall camp. Obviously not getting tackled, but teammates, you know, hitting me and stuff. Like I'm this close to falling and I don't.
Yeah.
And we talked about it, and I literally have no idea how I make it out of some things. Honestly, the Utah thing, I went back and watched the video, and I was like,
it's ridiculous.
I had no idea my knee did that. You know, I had no idea I was this close from buckling my knee and snapping it the opposite direction. So, I mean, I don't really feel it. Last year against USC, when I stuck my arm in the ground, it's kind of, I'm short and stocky, and I just am able to stay up. I honestly have no answer for that one.
You're like a cat, man. You just always land on your feet.
Yeah. I mean, I've been playing for a long time, so I think it's just been coming with the game and understanding where people are coming from and how I'm going to be able to use my force against theirs to be able to stay up.
Especially in the fourth quarter, I feel like too. And that's something that has changed so much, I think, this year versus last year. Last year, you were kind of all over the place, right? There were times where you had to play quarterback. You were the punter for this team at a certain point. And now you get to a point where you can really just focus in on being the tailback for this team. And I feel like you've got, like you said earlier, you've got a stable of running backs, right? Between D'Lo, Kyson, Raleek when he's able to be in there. That takes away a little bit from you. I know you want to get the ball every single play if it were up to you. Do you feel like it has helped the overall team, though, being able to keep you a little bit more fresh going into the fourth quarter?
100%. You know, when I only have 11 carries going into halftime and we're winning football games, that's always nice. Because it's not about, you know, the quantity of the reps. Yeah. It's about how many yards I get per carry. It's not, you know, get 80 carries and have 3 yards a carry and have, you know, 160 yards or you know whatever it is. But it's just the fact that they're understanding that, you know, I still have more football to me and years on end, and they're helping me out with that, you know, and bringing guys in to be able to help me and stay fresh throughout the game is awesome because they see that and they know when I'm fresh, then that's when I'm playing my best ball. And me tired is not always the best.
Do you know that that's usually the game plan going on? Like, oh, hey, we're gonna be a little conservative at the beginning. It's like mentally you're like, okay, I'm ramping up, like I'm getting ready for the end of the game.
Not really. I think that we were talking about, the summer workouts. In the past, I saved stuff in the tank. I would go through a summer workout and I would still have stuff, left in me when I was done. And this year I didn't. I fought till the end. Every possession, every drive we had in fall camp, and every spring ball and every summer workout. So I just love the game, and I like to play it all 4 quarters. The game ain't over till the clock says 0. So I just believe in being able to play your hardest until it says 0. And they're bringing in, they got guys next to me and behind me that are helping me do that and staying fresh while doing it.
You don't do well with bye weeks, do you?
Not really. I like football a lot, and I play video games and I play football. And when I don't have football, it drives me insane.
Yeah.
So I stay away from it when I'm at home, but when I'm away from it too long, I go insane for sure.
That's fair. Look, we do want to play a little Big 12 game that we've got with you. But first, Short Bus in the chat. Short Bus, do you know who that is? He's a comic. I know he's messaged you a couple times. Have you seen him perform?
I have not. I need to catch a show, actually. I've talked to him a few times, and I'm definitely going to try my best to catch a show before I get out of Arizona or wherever, wherever the NFL takes me or whatever. But, I'm here until later, early next year. So I definitely want to catch one of his shows.
We got to make it happen.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
He's very, very funny guy. Absolutely incredible. So definitely, if you're an ASU fan and you get the luxury to go check out Short Bus anytime he does stand up, definitely go check that out. But Kyle, Captain Redbeard, let's go ahead. Let's put the game on the board. So we are going to have you build your perfect Big 12 football program. Eric, do we want to go with $15 or $20 here?
Let's do 20. We're
gonna be on it. We're gonna be nice and do 20. Okay. So Scat, we're gonna have you for $20. You have to get a stadium, a coach, a mascot, uniforms, and then you have to get a running back as well. We are going to go ahead and start with the stadiums off of the top. So it doesn't say it on the graphic, but I've got them for you right now. So for $5, you have Lavelle Edwards Stadium. That is BYU. For $4, you have Jack Tried Stadium. That is Iowa State. For $3, you have Folsom Field. That is Colorado. For $2, you have Mountain America Stadium. And for $1, you have Nippert Stadium, which is Cincinnati.
Oh, that was rough to play in. I got to save some money. You said I have how many dollars?
You have $20.
$20. I think I'll take, what was the top pick again?
Lavelle Edwards Stadium, BYU.
I think I'll take BYU's atmosphere for sure.
That's a crazy atmosphere.
It is insane. I've never been there, but, I've always seen videos, and that's something that I've always kind of want to be a part of. And ASU is kind of bringing that to life a little bit. So having that every game would be sick.
100%. Sure. Where are you going, Eric?
Oh, man. I feel like the BYU Stadium, because I remember watching when they played Arizona, and it's just like that's such a crazy atmosphere. But I do think Mountain America can emulate a lot of that.
I think at a certain point it can get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, BYU Stadium is pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And
crazy.
The atmosphere, like you said, is ridiculous.
There's also nothing like a bowl with the stadium wrapped all the way around.
Yeah.
That plays a big part in the stadium. Then there's no openings for sound to exit other than the field or up.
So. 100%. On to the coach. This is going to be a fun one. So for $5, you've got Kyle Whittingham. For $4, Matt Campbell. For $3, Kalani Sitake. For $2, Kenny Dillingham. And for $1, you have Brent Brennan. Pour one out for all of the U of A fans in the chat.
Okay, so I'm at $15.
You got $15 left.
See, Brent Brennan, I was recruited by him at San Jose State before he went to. Well, he was actually still there, but I kind of set my mind to being a power forward running back, and he was a great guy. I can see myself in his offense and what he did. But I'm gonna rock with my guy, Kenny.
Yeah, 100%. I didn't know where you were going with that.
I will say though, it would have been cool, to see how he would have used me as well. But Dillingham's doing everything I want to do in football. So there's not really anybody that can beat that right now, to be honest.
You found a way to somehow still hurt Arizona fans because they're going to go watch that back, and they are going to really, really hurt thinking about having you.
Yeah, he's a great coach,
offense.
though. I have no hate for that guy.
I can't lie.
That's a good
I
man.
got some heart palpitations over here. Going to that, I was like, wait.
Oh, my goodness. Where are you going?
$2 for Kenny Dillingham?
Yeah,
Talk about an investment.
Yeah,
that's
the
the easiest choice on all of it. $2?
So you both have Kenny, and you're both rocking BYU Stadium right now. Time to get to the mascots. Definitely some fun ones in the Big 12. For $5, you've got Nitro. For $4, you have Ralphie. For $3, you have Sparky. For $2, you have Pistol Pete. And for a single dollar, you have one of the worst mascots in all of college sports, Willie the Wildcat. Which is literally just a person with a giant wildcat head on it. It's so bad.
I think for some money purposes, I'm gonna go with OK State's mascot.
Okay.
I think it's kind of cool, old Western mascot, but I mean, I would be heartbroken to see that mascot every day, but I think for money purposes, we'll go with them.
Okay.
Sure.
$9. $9 is spent so far for Scat.
I want to splurge on Nitro so bad.
Nitro's such a good mascot.
Was Sparky for $3?
Sparky was for $3, yeah.
So let's change that to Sparky.
Sparky?
That's a good choice.
So got an even
we'll
10.
be at $10.
Even $10.
We'll still have $10 left. Yeah, let's obviously Sparky. That's the guy.
I don't want to keep taking his answers.
But you are. That's what you're going to do.
I got to stay true to myself. I want to splurge on Nitro, but I got to save money. There's some important picks that we need to make in the next two. I'm just going to keep on copying Scat because if I could be like Scat, then I think I'm fine. So, I'll take Sparky.
Well, you both have set yourself up now with about $10 left. So this is why
there tax?
There's not tax. I won't
Okay.
I won't make you do tax. And we made it easy. We put the game on easy mode with $20 because I think in
the 20
in the real world, I think it's like
100%.
$15. But now you have the luxury of kind of splurging wherever you want. We'll go straight to the uniforms now. For $5, you can get TCU's uniforms. $4 BYU, $3 Arizona State, $2 Utah, and $1 Baylor.
I really like Utah's red and white. The red and white is really, I like those colors.
Okay.
But I've always been a fan of purple.
Yeah.
I've always loved purple uniforms. The Ravens uniforms. TCU's got some of the sickest uniforms in college football. So I'll go with TCU for sure.
I'm gonna
Here we go again.
No, I'm changing. I'm swerving.
Okay.
Apparently, I really like what BYU's got going on. I think they have a really clean look. I need BYU's stadium, but with like Tempe energy.
That's fair.
Man, like I need ASU students in the BYU stadium with the BYU colors. Yeah, I'll rock with BYU for what was that, $4?
For $4, and then we'll bring it home. I wanted to get you guys to the point where it was $15, and then you had to try and find a way to get a running back. But now since you both have so much money left,
cap space.
You've done a great job allotting your money for your final pick for your running back. Obviously, $5 for Senor Scat, $4 for Tahj Brooks, $3 for RJ Harvey, $2 for Ollie Gordon, and $1 for Devin Neal. Scat, I feel like I already know where you're going with this one.
Yeah, you don't even have to.
I'm kidding.
Obviously, I'm taking myself. I mean, I'm leading right now, so
yeah.
I'm going to take myself in all categories for sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is like when you copy out somebody's homework, but you change like one answer so it doesn't look like you're copying.
Yeah, 100%.
I knew for sure the two that I was going to take no matter what was Kenny for $2 and Scat for $5. And there was no questions about any of that. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm getting busted for plagiarism.
I mean, yeah, you're literally copied just about.
Hey, we have different jerseys.
Yeah, his
Purple
are cooler.
and blue.
His are way cooler than yours.
Hey, you're right,
Sorry,
but I
man.
had to swerve somewhere.
Sorry, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Scat.
Guys, that is going to do it for today's episode of the PHNX Sun Devil Show. Definitely hit that like button for Scat. Make sure you're subscribed to PHNX Sports on YouTube. Drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Again, this is not the only time that we are going to have Scat in studio. Still got a number of times throughout the rest of the season. So definitely excited for that. Guys, make sure if you enjoy the content, give the show a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. You could follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow the meme maker here at Eric Ruby. That is Eric with a K. You can follow your favorite running back's favorite running back at Cam Skattebo 5 on social. You can follow Captain Redbeard behind the Mac at K Coop Sports. But in the meantime, guys, go Devils and peace.
Y'all silly like the mayor.